So, Clayton, let's get right to the matter of the quarterback situation. Joe Milton looked good against Minnesota. He's fallen off since then. Obviously, there are contributing factors to that all around him on the offensive line and elsewhere. Lack of a running game. Your thoughts about his performance, when the move was made, and if Cade McNamara is in a quarterback battle with Milton going forward, or if he's won the job?
Yeah, so, I think that opener against Minnesota was pretty deceiving when you look back at the fact that we thought Minnesota was a top 25 team, right? I mean, that was a top 25 matchup. Michigan goes in, plays really well offensively. But then you look back in hindsight and you say, okay, this is a Minnesota defense that lost a lot from last year and is not a good team. I mean, they're getting run over by everybody they play. And the Michigan defense actually played pretty well, too, if you want to go there. And Minnesota's offense doesn't look to be, as good as it was. So that game was deceiving overall. But Joe Milton specifically, I'd say that he had a good performance. At the same time, they kind of made things easy on him. And maybe even the coaching staff knew that probably it was going to be a little bit of a struggle. Fast forward 3-4 weeks, and, he struggles against Wisconsin. He threw 2 picks to start that game. And he wasn't really the issue in the first couple losses of the year, but, he just doesn't quite have that consistency. I think he's lacking a little bit in his awareness of the game. He's got a huge arm, and everybody talks about that. But when it comes to converting on third downs, when it comes to, making the correct read or getting rid of the ball quickly when the blitz is in his face, he just hasn't been doing it consistently enough. So we see Cade McNamara come in late in the third quarter against Wisconsin in a blowout. Cade McNamara looks really good. He goes 3 for 3, leads Michigan down in a minute and a half on 4 plays for a touchdown. And everyone's like, okay, this is the guy. This is the guy. I'm saying pump the brakes a little bit, because we've seen Michigan quarterbacks come in before, look good in a small sample size against, in garbage time. Look at John O'Corn in 2017. Okay. But then Milton struggles again, gets down 17-0. He wasn't the only problem on that offense. Like you mentioned, there's problems with the offensive line. They were missing 3 starters last week at Rutgers. They're down 17-0, and Michigan had to make the change and go with Cade McNamara, and now he's the hero, right? He comes in, he goes 27 for 36, 260 yards, 4 touchdowns throwing, 1 rushing. He was gritty. His arm was bleeding by the end of the game, and he's making play after play, leading Michigan to a triple overtime win. This is your guy going forward. Jim Harbaugh didn't say that yesterday at his press conference. He said that the team hasn't come in yet, and they kind of wanted to inform the team first. But when he talked to the team yesterday, I can almost guarantee you that he went with Cade McNamara and said this is the guy going forward. I think that we went into that Rutgers game thinking this could be the last win for Michigan on the season. But now you look at, what their ceiling is with Cade McNamara. We still don't really know, but it looks a little bit brighter. The ceiling looks a little bit higher with a new guy under center, a guy that has shown he can command that offense. He has the situational awareness. I mentioned the Joe Milton, how there's a blitz in his face and he doesn't get rid of it, or, he doesn't see the guy that's open underneath because the blitz is coming. Cade McNamara had his first touchdown throw was to Cornelius Johnson, 37-yarder, I believe. Blitz in his face, gets rid of it. You think, oh, he's just trying to get rid of it because he's about to get clobbered. No, he saw his guy streaking down the middle of the field for a touchdown. And, then that kind of set the tone. And I think he's your guy going forward. So to answer your question, Joe Milton hasn't been horrible. He hasn't been the number one issue on this team, but Cade McNamara looks like a fix to some of those other issues just because of how good he's been in a small sample size. So we'll see what it is going forward.